Hello everyone, my name is Tanis. I'm a crafter who lives down towards the south coast of the UK in Hampshire. Nice to see you. If you've never been here with me before, welcome, and if you're coming back from watching me previously, it's lovely to see you again. Right then, let's jump in. It's been a while. Lighting is absolutely terrible here. It's been like it for a few weeks, so not really been able to record. I mean, I'm going to do it now just because things are piling up, man. Right then, let's just dive straight in with something I finished, which I actually finished a while ago. I just keep forgetting to show you. These are well, I've got my watch on. I'm going to take that off because it's a little bit distracting being very, very bright yellow. Now then, these are a pair of pretty basic hand warmers. They're from, you know, the Knitting Gift Company. They're at all the UK not craft fairs, yarn festivals, yarn shows. They were at the Southern Wool Show. They're usually at, I think they're always at Unravel anyway, as far as I can remember, and I think they quite often go to the Knitting and Stitching show too. I'm not here to be their diary manager. Anyway, they sell these lovely little kits, and these are, as you can see, cable hand warmers. It was a really inexpensive little kit. It's nice, sort of quite chunky, not chunky, but I'd say a bit heavier than DK. British wool, very simple cable pattern going up it, 2x2 rib. Really quick and easy to whip up. You're actually supposed to felt them, but I quite like the way they fit now anyway, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to let them do their thing, and if I ever do wash them, then maybe I'll put them in the washing machine in a little net bag or something and see what happens. But as they are, I like them. I don't really need them to be any tighter, and they certainly are lovely and toasty. In fact, I feel like just keeping them on, but I think they might get in the way. But they're really nice, and they would be such a lovely little gift for someone, like as a kit, because you get the yarn and the pattern. Don't think you get the needles. It was a really nice little gift that I gifted to myself. So yeah, I'm glad they're off these. I have got a friend who's got Reynards, so I was thinking of giving them to her, but she really only likes cashmere, so don't think I will. I did see a pair of cashmere arm warmers in TK Maxx for her the other day, which I might get and give to her next time I see her. Now then, oh, I've got a disappointment. Nothing major, just that in my spare room where I do, oh sorry, I do a little bit of spitty there, sorry about that. In my spare room where I do all my crafting, not all my crafting, some of my crafting, I've got a lot of crafting supplies stored in there, but it's where I work, my day job, and it's where I do this sort of computery things to do with my Etsy shop. I came across, I've got like a little document holder on my desk, and I popped this in there as a reminder to me to make some for this Christmas, and I completely forgot about it. This is a great book, Deck the Halls. Can't show you much inside because most of the pictures have got the pattern right there, so, and it's quite big print, so I can't show you much without giving the pattern away. But there was one that I saw earlier. There's loads of lovely little Christmas ornaments, like knitted baubles and stars and angels. Like, I really like these baubles, like that stripy one at the top particularly. And they've got this lovely garland of, look, oh I can't show you, well I'll show you a little bit of that little jumper. They're mainly lovely little tree decorations. They've got the garland of oh look, a little tree of mittens. Isn't that adorable? But being a dipstick, oh these there, let me see, there's a full page picture of, look, they've got those little mittens, as a garland as well. It's so nice, isn't it? I really wanted to make those, but being a dipstick, completely forgot. Look, all the Russian dolls. Completely forgot about it. So I bought myself a new diary for next year. This is this year's one. And that's next year's one. Love pink and orange together. Really love it. That was from Asda. I think it was like £2. And that one was from the Works last year. I love a paper diary. I love it, you know, not just for like all the, you know, normal birthdays, anniversaries, what have you. I also put in my daily high and low temperature for the temperature blanket I'm making. So like that, it's in October, see? So I put in the temperature values and then what colour that corresponds to on my blanket. And I do that, I write that in every day. And then even if I forget to actually knit it, I know to go back to that and check it. But I mean, there's also a website I use if I do skip a day that gives you past averages. So that's pretty cool. But I try not to. I'm usually pretty good at doing it every day. About 4 o'clock. And it is now 2:45, so we best get a move on. So yeah, I'm going to put a note in my diary, my lovely new diary, about October to get this book out and start making some things. Because I really fancy that mitten garland. I think that'd be such a lovely way to use up scraps. And I'm not sure what yarn does it use? Worsted weight, but it doesn't matter, does it? You can just use whatever you want. But I thought it'd be a lovely little scrappy project. I can't wait to crack on with that. Now my current obsession is granny square triangles. Not triangles. I don't know what I'm saying. I've got a mince pie deficiency. That's the problem. I've got a thing about making granny squares at the moment. I wanted to make some granny square slippers for a Secret Santa gift. Don't worry, she won't be watching this. For my knit and natter group. I don't think any of them watch podcasts particularly. It's not much danger. I was saying that. So I've got a couple. Excuse me, voice went all funny. I've got a couple of like little gifts that I want to put in. Like I've got a little tree ornament, and I've got a little kit that I got as a gift that I'm going to re-gift. It's a nice little sewing, very simple felt sewing project to make a little Christmas pudding. It is actually lovely, but I just don't think I'm going to get around to doing it. So I'm going to pop that in. I'm going to make a pair of slippers, and I'm going to pop in a Christmas themed, light sort of romancy kind of novel, sort of thing that I like reading myself. We've got a limit. It's with my local knit and natter group, who are by and large retirees, retired people. So our limit is £5, which is actually quite hard. Would you like my mug? Got myself a Christmas mug from TK Maxx. I mean, that is a fine thing, isn't it? I really love that. And it's pink inside. The only thing is, when you drink from it, it's only me that sees the design. So maybe it's a left-hander's cup. But it's my mug. Why shouldn't I see it? See all the pretties. So I'm using, right, back to those slippers. I'm going well off track here. I'm using, this is James C. Brett Baby Twinkle DK, and the shade is actually called Christmas. I mean, look at that. That couldn't be more Christmassy, could it? And it's sparkly. So what I'm doing is I'm just making loads of, these are just over 10 centimetre squares, granny squares. And then there's loads of diagrams and stuff on like Pinterest and what have you to show you how to make these. Just search for granny square slippers. I'll take a picture and stuff maybe and show you a pair when I actually sew them up. But I mean, the yarn does all the work. So you need 7 for each foot, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually 2, 4, 6, 7. I've got one, that's a foot. That's a slipper. And I've got 3 here. I'm on the 4th one, so not far to go. Got to get them done by Tuesday. So that's going to have to be my concentrating on evening project for the next few days. And I also bought, and I had to buy a few of these because I bought them. My local yarn stores don't sell this, which is unfortunate. So I bought them online, and I had to, I mean, you have to, don't you? I had to spend enough money to get free shipping. So I bought some wadding for the bags that I make, and I bought 3 lots of sock stop. I don't know if you've seen this. I've got red, blue, and that's bright pink, that one there. So I'm going to use a red for those, obviously. And it's like this, I don't know what is it like silicone? Something like that. Anyway, you just squirt little dobs underneath, or squiggly. I might do little squiggles. And it just gives it a little bit of grippy, so that you don't go sliding across your hardwood floor. Fingers crossed, heaven forbid. They should give you a little bit of grippiness with them, because obviously the last thing I want to do is send Muriel skidding across the room. Christmas Day, that would not be, I mean, if anyone can ice skate, I'm sure she can, but that's not the intention. So, as I say, I'm obsessed with making them. I've made those ones, and then I've got some scraps of some, that's DK, so really quick to whip up. These ones are scraps of silk merino, and also that's a plant dyed yarn from Nelly Eve. Just some little scraps of like some tonal colours. They're mainly silk mixtures. What did I make? I made, that's definitely got some silk in it. This one hasn't. And these are Malabrigo. They've all got silk in. And these, oh gosh, this is what has started me off. I love these. I'm keeping them. As I make them, I'm popping them into a pickle jar. And I keep, it's so lovely. And I keep this by my desk upstairs. And it's just, when you're having to concentrate on something at work, and have a little think, and you know, not look at your screen. I look at these, and they just inspire me. They're so lovely, and it just makes me think, right, get on with it, Smith, and you can go and make yourself one of these as a little treat. They're such a jolly thing. Let me open the thing. Oh, a little bit noisy. I'm talking over it. You see? Now, oh crikey, look at that. I mean, that is a joyous thing, isn't it? I'm not making them the same. Don't really care about them being matchy. And again, I need 14 of them. And I might put I'm going to put the blue gunge underneath these. Oh, look. I can see a lot of these in my life, because I'm just, oh, look at that one. This one's great. Oh. So I've got 7 rounds. I'm using a 3mm hook I'm using for these. They're the last 2. And I'm doing 7 rounds. Makes that a 10cm square for me. And I'm a size 6, 6.5 shoe. And apparently they'll fit, on the pattern that I'm using says that will fit like a standard kind of, you know, like when you buy slippers in a shop, and it's the medium is like size 5 to 7. And I'm sure the pattern said they'd be like size 5 to 8, but then I'm not sure if that pattern's UK or American, because I'm not using the crochet instructions. I'm just making, you know, because it's just a granny square, I'll have to do that. It's just for the sewing them up. Like you put 3, you sew them up like diagonally underneath, and then they sort of wrap around your foot. You sew the top ones on. That sounds really confusing. I'm gonna I'll come back to you with that. When I've sewn the pair up, I'll show them to you and all will be clear, I'm sure. But yeah, that's my current obsession. I cannot leave them alone. There's my little crochet hook. This is a silver crochet hook and it is a joyous thing to use. And this is from Lynn Roberts Design, who I don't think is making them anymore. I know she wasn't very well, so I hope she recovered, but I've not heard anything from her for years, so I'm not really sure if she's making them anymore or not, or you know what's happened. But she did make the most beautiful silver crochet hooks, and I bought one, and oh my god, it's my prized possession. I love that thing so much. And my other thing that I got really into, which is origami paper bookmarks. I could not stop making them. I don't know what got into me. They're the simplest thing. Like this is like in December, I only read Christmassy schmaltz. Only read Christmassy books. This is one I'm reading at the moment. Sarah Morgan, One More for Christmas. It's basically about these sisters who have a very successful businesswoman mother who is quite cold, and they haven't had the easiest childhood with her because she's tried to sort of make them grow up to be tough and so that they can make their own way in the world. And the mum has an accent, not a terrible accent. She has a fall. That's such a patronising thing that medical people say, isn't it? She falls off a ladder, a step ladder, in her office, and one of her many awards knocks her on the head and knocks her out so she goes to the hospital. And she has this kind of epiphany where she wants to make up her relationship with her daughters, who are obviously super suspicious of her motives and stuff. So it's a really good book. And this is the bookmark I'm using. Look, I love the way it just sort of, you get a little flash of it on the side. So it's just like a little origami thing. It's so easy to make. You just pop them on the corner of your page and it just reminds your page. Look, that's what it looks like on the other side. You get the full shebang on the other side. And that's what they look like unused. Yeah, just pop them on the corner of your book, your page. Lovely. So what I'm going to do with those, the Christmassy ones, they'll get a book like book like this with the bookmark in it and the slippers. And I'm thinking of doing doing something similar in my shop as well, my Etsy shop. I might make the slippers, put in like a mystery book, like a second-hand book. You know, like those blind date with a book ideas. A book wrapped up in brown paper, and the person buying can choose whether they want like a sort of, you know, a slushy, something, you know, like a little romancy type thing, a thriller, murder mystery, you know, something loose like that, just general fiction. And then they'll get the slippers, the mystery book, and the book will have a little bookmark in it, one of those bookmarks. And it'll just make a nice little gift, I think, and which could have been really nice for people's Secret Santas, other than my own. But I didn't think of it in time. But I went absolutely crackers for making these. Look how many I've made. Like, there's literally probably 100 in there. Look, tons of them. What are these like? Autumnal prints. Oh, they're so lovely. Anyway, I went absolutely crackers. Bought loads of prints, loads of Christmassy ones, autumn ones, these lovely summery ones. And what I've been doing is I've just been popping them in with, when people make an order on my Etsy shop, I've been popping one in randomly here and there. But where I've got some returning customers, I couldn't remember who I'd sent them to before and who I hadn't. So I don't want people to think, oh, why does this woman keep sending me bookmarks? What's wrong with her? Which with things that are completely unrelated to books, like hairnets. So yeah, crackers for Christmas. Yeah, I thought that might be a nice idea, the little cosy wishes. I thought it's a nice little gift you could buy someone, right, if they're not feeling well or they just need a little bit cuddle, snuggy time. I thought that was a nice idea, if I say so myself. Now, I finished a pair of Strictly socks. If you watch, and why wouldn't you, Ali's Little Drops of Wonderful podcast, she does a Strictly sock along every year where you knit socks as you're watching Strictly Come Dancing, but you're allowed to cheat and yada yada. I finished these. Oh, come on. They're pretty good, right? If I say so myself. These are using all my Christmas yarn scraps. They're mainly West Yorkshire spinners. That one, that one, that one, that one. They're all... This one, which is the same as this one, is a Giddy Aunts yarn. It looks quite blue there, but it's actually like an emerald green. And this red I've used for the heels. I've no idea what that is. That was in a mini set from something or other. But what that was, I could not tell you. Just on a normal rounded toe. And they're just, I took these, oh my God, so many ends. So many ends to sign in. To sew in. Oh my goodness me. Painful it was. I took them with me to my knitting out group. So I've done one sock, but the second sock still had like 1,000 ends to sew. So I did them there, and the ladies there were so impressed with them. They thought they were really clever, but it's literally, like I said to them, it's not anything clever at all. It's just every 10 rounds I changed colour, and I did 5 rounds and then did the heel and then the other 5 rounds. So this bit here actually has 6 rounds in it, just because the way it works when you finish doing the heel. And I did an I've partridge heel. Well, I say I did. Look, I don't know if you can see. I attempted it, but I get easily distracted, and some of my offsets are not offset at all, which no one's going to know but me, are they? And even now, actually, it's not easy to spot where I loused up, but loused up I did. So not that clever, but very satisfying and an absolutely joyous thing to do. And I've still got quite a bit of that yarn left in various forms and guises, and Strictly is not over till it's over, and I don't count it being over until Christmas Day. It's a Christmas Day special, isn't there? So I've cast on another pair using my Strictly scraps. Now, where are they? They are not in here. That's other scraps. And that's not them either. And that's not them. Is this them? Yes. Oh, look. I've got this lovely bag from a year or 2 ago. From Hand Dyed Studios in Petersfield, which is a cracking shop. You need to visit that if you're in the area. And in here are the leftovers of all my Christmas scraps. And the next pair that I've cast on for Strictly Sock Along socks, using the same yarn, like using, that's one of the yarns in those socks. So I've got a fair bit of that left. But I'm striping them in helical stripes with this grey, which was an opal colour, which I think was called like newsprint maybe. Anyway, it's all shades of grey. And I'm making some Christmas in the West End socks. So I don't know if you've ever been to the West End of London when it's snowing, and it's beautiful for about 15 seconds, and then it just turns into grey slush where everyone's tramping about on it. And that is what this grey is doing. It's just knocking everything back. This bit I've striped Silent Night with vintage tinsel. I think I did 2 rows of each, 1 by 1 twisted rib. And then, yeah, this one I'm doing helical knitting with that dingy grey and my Christmas yarn, which will make it still Christmassy, but Christmassy in a way that makes me laugh, and will also tone it down enough for them to be worn other times of the year, which my candy cane socks, which is this one, are definitely very Christmassy, and you can't get away with that anytime all year round, any other time of year. I don't have an awful lot of that grey left, as you'll see, that little nub, that's all I have. So when I finish doing that, I'm toying with the idea of going on to this leftover bit of Yarn Smith's merino sock in black, but that will make the colours pop rather than bring them down. So I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm sure I've got some grey knocking about somewhere. I don't know what I was singing there. Now then, I've got some bits in bags that are kind of projects that need to be broken down. X projects. Now I've got a thing. It's like I've got the, what's the opposite of the Midas touch? Where everything you touch turns to poop. I've got this thing at the moment where I'm all right with the crochet at the moment, but with the knitting, everything I cast on, I get so far into it and then I think, this is not working at all. And I need to frog it and start again. And then I frog it and start it again. And then I don't like that either. And then I'm just in this vicious cycle of making things badly. Now I'm making this blanket for my knitting group collects charity knits for local baby care unit, various other little projects I do, like they do rescue bears and stuff. But I thought I'd make a blanket because I like a little bit of like just straight garter stitch, watching TV, not having to think about anything at all type knitting. And the baby care unit in Portsmouth, the Queen Elizabeth, will only accept the things that are made from specifically baby yarn. Fair enough. It's not something I typically buy, but I saw this in a local yarn shop and I thought, well, it will be fun. So it's like multicoloured pastels. See, look, you can see where I've knit something and frogged it already. Not really my thing, but sort of is my thing. I like that it's very pretty and cutesy, and it's not something that I would ever make for myself, but I like the actual knitting with it, and I thought it'd be okay for a baby blanket. So I literally just cast on, did an I-cord cast on 100 stitches, and then I'm just going to knit with an I-cord edging both sides, and just knit until I get sick of it, until it's like a big enough for a baby, really, at least, and then cast it off with an I-cord cast off. But I started knitting it, loved it, but then the more I knitted it, the more I thought, this is just too much. Look. Oh my goodness, it's too much, isn't it? I don't want someone to feel like their baby's got the booby prize. I love the way that I-cord looks with it. I don't like this very busy, patchy look. Don't like it at all. So I'm thinking of frogging it. Now, that doesn't look like a lot, but that is actually a lot of knitting. So, part of me thinks that's too much knitting to pull back. That will be quite depressing. But the other part of me thinks, why make something you don't like? Because if I don't like it, why would a parent? So, I do believe that you should make things that you genuinely like, even if you've got no intention of keeping them, and especially if it's going to be like a giveaway, you know, charity gift. That's not an excuse to use up your ugly colours, is it? So I do really like those pretty colours, but I don't like it altogether. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I think maybe I think that ball was about 200 grams, and I've got 150 grams of this Sirdar Snuggly Pearls DK. It's a very pale pink, got a bit of sparkle in it, a little bit of pearlized sparkly. So I've got 150 grams of that, and I thought that might tone that down. So what I was thinking of doing was 4 rows garter of the busy, and then 2 rows of this, or maybe the other way around, 4 rows of this, 2 rows of that, of the busy. I think maybe only 2 rows of the busy, so that it doesn't pull, it doesn't dominate too much. And even though this is sparkly, it might just tone it down a bit. I don't know. But this yarn was a gift from someone I used to work with who used to knit but had given up knitting. I don't know why. And I've also got, another, I've got another blanket that I started. Oh gosh, I'm a nightmare. And I misjudged the yarn, and I don't have enough of this pink to finish it. So this one's a complete disaster. And I started doing the weaving Stephen to weave all the ends in, and it looks horrendous. So I think this is going to have to be frogged, but this can turn into my obsession of granny squares. I can make some granny square slippers out of that, hopefully. So it won't be wasted yarn, it's going to go in a very different direction. Now I'm hoping 150 grams of this mixed with the other one will be enough to make a decent sized blanket. We'll see, we will see. I'm going to pull that back, right back to the original cast on I-cord. So I'm going to keep the I-cord in this variegated colour because it's so pretty. The I-cord looks amazing in that cast on. And then the I-cord will be striped up the side, won't it? So I'm hoping that will work out. And it'll be just that little bit more interesting TV knitting, won't it, if I'm striping it. Oh, I hope it works out. I really do, because I can't tell you how long ago I cast that on. But yeah, you know when you're just not, I wasn't loving it. So that's a death knell for that sounded. Poor little project. But she will be reborn. Now I'm not going to show you these. These are my Sound 5 socks, which I've shown you before, and I've got absolutely nowhere with. I finished one, cast on the other one. I've done about that much of the leg, and just stalled on it for no reason at all. Now, my other TV knitting for when I'm not making the blanket. This is what I'm in the mood for at the moment. Just really plain things. I'm doing just a V-neck, a triangle shawl. I'm making it with Nelly Eve plant dyed yarn in this really, I love this. It's really lovely moss colour. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'm doing the simplest triangle shawl, just all garter stitch. And I've got an I-cord edge. That's what I love. And a really simple yarn over increase. At the beginning of every row, one yarn over increase. And I'm going up these stitch markers are just to show like 50 stitch gaps. So I'm going to take it up to 200 stitches, and that will give me enough just to pull it around my neck once and tie it at the back, or maybe bring it round and tie it at the front. Just want something very, very simple that just shows off this beautiful yarn. Because I feel like I'm quite often fighting yarn and pattern. Getting the two things to marry up together, you know, is a skill that I don't always have. Generally, no problem. But I hit these blocks like now where I have to do something just plain. And sometimes the yarn, you love the yarn so much that the best thing to do with it is to just let it be. You know, just let it shine of its own accord. And especially because I feel like it's quite a special yarn, because, you know, making plant dyes is quite a lot of work. So I feel like I want to wear that to unravel and visit the Nelly and Eve stall and say, look, this is so simply beautiful, and all it is your yarn. No fancy tricksy patterns. It's just the beautiful thing you did. Do you know what I mean? Now I've got a slight disappointment. This is not a criticism, because these things happen. Lord knows, I know. I have an Etsy shop myself. I know that people can make mistakes. So I bought some really lovely yarn from a dyer ages ago. Made myself a shawl out of it. The colours did not suit me at all. So next time I saw them, I asked them to dye some yarn for me, dye me a couple of skeins so that I could do my Christmas Eve cast on this year is going to be this Lissington lines, and I absolutely love this. It's like a tunic length jumper. Don't want to give it anything away too much, and it's just stripy, and look how lovely it is. And I saw the actual item. She had a couple of variants of it on her stall, and when she was at the Southern Wool Show, and I absolutely loved it. And everyone who walked past that stall stopped and looked at it. There's something about stripes that just gets everyone. And I thought, wouldn't that be lovely with, because it was all sort of, you know, those fruit salad sweets. It was those colours with sparkle in it. But it went from like pink into coral and yellow, and it was absolutely magical. But as a block, as just a triangle scarf, the colours didn't work on me at all. But I loved it. But I thought it might work nicely with, this is King Cole anti-tickle merino, where it's a merino blend, but it is 100% wool. This is a very affordable choice. You get, I think, 400 grams. Let's have, no, 500 grams. You get 500 grams and it's about 20 quid. And it's really nice. I've made a few things from it. I've got it in that navy. I've got it in a biscuit colour, which I'm going to make something for someone else in that. And I've got this green. Now, I knew the green wouldn't work, but I could imagine that navy blue would look absolutely lovely with it. With that colour that doesn't suit me in the block. But the navy does suit me. So I thought this could be a marriage in heaven, couldn't it? Marriage made in heaven. So next time I saw the dyer at a yarn show, I asked them if they had any, and they didn't, but they offered to dye some up for me, which was brilliant. So kept an eye on their website. They said they'd just pop up on their website when they dyed them, and I could buy them and they'll just post them off. Bingo, 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 bango. So I watched, and they had loads of shows and events coming up. So nothing appeared for ages. I wasn't bothered because I knew they were really super busy. And then I stopped looking because a long time went by. Just stopped looking. And then I randomly looked one day and there was my name. And I thought, oh, crikey, how long's that been sitting there? It must be livid. So I quickly bought it. And in no time at all, the package turned up. I mean, they posted it 25th of November and it arrived here within a couple of days. So pleased. And because it's a Christmas Eve cast on, I didn't bother to open the package, did I? I just thought I'm going to save that for Christmas Eve because I love winding the ball of yarn. I love taking a skein and winding up a ball of yarn. Just something I quite enjoy. And I thought that would be a really lovely thing to do on Christmas Eve. I can wind up one of those, cast on, happy days. We're all having a lovely Christmas. And then I've been trying to record this for a couple of weeks. Just never any light. So I've just given in today and just thought, right, stuff it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just doing it. So I thought, well, I'll open up that package and I'll hold the two things together, and then I'll have my final decision whether I use that yarn for that or not. The fruit salad colour. Anyway, I'm covering up because I don't want you to see who the yarn dye was because they fucked up. When I opened it, good job I did open it, because what I've got is 2 sets of mini skeins, which if they were 4-ply would be fine, would be absolutely fine for my project, but they're chuffing well not, are they? They're DK, which I very, very rarely use. So I'm a bit miffed, if I'm honest. I am a bit miffed because I've basically thrown 40 quid at these. I don't want them. And I feel, and it's too late now. They were delivered the end of November, and because I'm a pranny, I didn't open it. I've just been an idiot about wanting to give myself a Christmas present, which I already knew what was going to be in it. So I don't really feel like contacting them and arranging a return and all that nonsense and then getting the replacement and what have you. I'll just, oh, sod it, I'm going to just suck it up. And I'll use these for something. I think I've got a pattern for a DK jumper upstairs that I haven't ever knit because it's DK and I so rarely buy DK yarn. And these will probably work for that. They are colours I quite like. Well, when I say the colours I quite like, that I don't hate them. There's a couple of colours in here. The greeny ones I like. And the pink I like. I don't like purple. I'm not massively keen on that peachy colour either. But I think I've got something I can use them for. So all is not lost. It's not a disaster. But I definitely would not have spent 40 quid on this, given the choice. But it's my own stupid fault for not bloody opening it when it arrived. Let that be a lesson to you. Don't be an idiot. When you buy something, open the package, take a look at it, make sure you've got what you've asked for. Ah, oh, totally on me. Totally on me. Right then, I don't really want to leave you on a negative note like that. Let me show you something that I got. Oh, I went to Seeded, which is a cracking store. So they don't just sell yarn, it's all kinds of haberdashery and fabrics, and they have workshops and all kinds. It's lovely, and it's owned by Alexis, who is adorable, and managed by Jen, who is also adorable, and they're both really talented and fantastic. Please pop in and see them if you're ever in the area. Their workshops come very highly recommended. I always try and book on for, they do a Seeded Christmas afternoon tea, and the last 2 years they've done it at the Queen's Hotel, which is a beautiful hotel at Southsea, which is on the coast, which is my favourite little bit of the coast. And you have a whole day, well, like the whole afternoon, and you play games, and you take your projects and you craft along with people. You have a proper full-on afternoon tea. Drank so much tea. And we play pass the parcel. You get gifts, you get like a goodie bag, which is really beautiful. Where's mine? Oh, here's mine. It's bright pink. It's absolutely lovely. So you get this tote bag. Oh, I've scrunched mine up a bit, sorry. Oh, it's really scrunched up. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's really lovely. It's super bright pink. That's the logo, and it's in gold. Oh, I wish I hadn't squashed that up, because you can't see it properly now. But it's got like sheep on it, and yarn and crossed needles and stuff. There's a big sheep there, and that's their logo at the bottom, Seeded. And she sells really lovely vintage buttons. Anyway, you get this goodie bag, and it has like a little project in it for you to make. And we got a little Christmas tree ornament, which is a ball of yarn, which is so adorable, isn't it? I love that. Little odds, and then stitch markers. So lovely. And I had a really lovely day. And I sat next to the woman that I sat opposite last year. And this time we remembered to swap phone numbers, and we're going to book onto the same workshop if we can in the new year to do mosaic crochet, because the woman that teaches that class was at the afternoon tea, and she assures us that even though it looks amazing, looks absolutely cracking what she's made, she said it's as simple as a pimple, and it will, once we've learnt this particular stitch, we'll be flying. So can't wait for that. She said it's a great stash buster as well. It was almost like a sort of zigzag, not a zigzag, more like a sort of reverse tick, almost like a lightning strike kind of shape. Well, it's lovely, really lovely. I can't wait for that. So yeah, made a new friend, a real life friend, and had a lovely day, and absolutely stuffed myself with tea and cake. So that's the kind of positivity I think I want to end on. So I'm going to love you and leave you. If I don't speak to you again before, which I very much doubt I will, I hope you have an absolutely cracking Christmas and a very happy new year. You take care of yourselves, and happy crafting. Bye bye.